2022 World Cup is coming quick and fast. We got less than a week until our USMNT men's national team takes on Wales in our very first group stage game.
Since fucking 2012.
2012. We have waited as Americans. What are you talking about? 2014.
Okay.
We've waited as Americans for 8 long fucking... It's so long that we can't even keep track.
Yeah.
Waiting 8 long years, and we finally get to see it come back for the United States in the World Cup. This is going to be our predicted 11s, but also what we think is going to be the best 11 possible. We don't think that Greg is going to be smart enough to really just watch these videos and think, oh man, these guys know what the fuck they're talking about.
And by the way, we don't know what we're each other's picking, so we're just going to find out.
Blind. So I'll start off. First up, in goal. I think I would assume we have the same guy because the second goalie was left out. So I'm going to say Matt Turner.
Matt Turner, yeah. We're going to go back with both Matt Turner. Matt Turner is going to pop up. Boom, Matt Turner. I'm going to show you the 11 as we go along. It'll pop up and come down.
That's probably the easiest pick of the whole entire 11, honestly. The only potential player that could have come into that spot would have been Zach Steffen, but he is at home on the couch just like us.
So, So, Matt Turner, pretty obvious. Defense, back line. I think with what we've had selected, with what we've seen, that the players that were selected, I think we'll probably have the same back line, I would think at least.
Barring injuries for the first minimum round of the group stage.
I wish Chris Richards could be there. A notable mention for somebody who's not going to be at the World Cup in defense. I'm sure there's other names I'm not thinking of right now, but Chris Richards is obviously the big one, the Crystal Palace kid. But moving on, right back, obviously Dest. Right, obviously Dest.
Easy enough. I mean, Serginho is not yet one of the best right backs in the world, but he is up and coming. He will be within the next couple of years the best right back in the world.
I really hope. Well, I don't know. I hope he really develops somewhere. I don't think he's really finding his feet at Barca or Milan.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to take a step down from the clubs he's at. Maybe he needs to go to a mid-table team in some league. I don't know where. Maybe a different top club would suit him better. Maybe it's just the system. I don't know.
I think he should have stayed an extra year or two at Ajax.
I don't know. I don't think that would really help too much. I think getting experience under these big teams is a big help, and I think it's really good for him. And I obviously want him to be playing these top teams, but I want him to be. He needs to find a European team where he can start every week.
I got a good idea. You ready?
Yeah.
United.
No.
In the summer.
No.
There were links. Could you imagine?
He needs somewhere where he can start every week.
Ten Hag reuniting with the Mad Lads.
And I just don't think he's a Premier League player. I don't know. He doesn't
have quite enough defensive ability about him. Let's be honest. Reggie Cannon can be a good alternative for him.
Yeah.
But we both think Dest is going to be in that 11 damn near every game.
Left back, Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson.
Easy. He's in for Fulham week in and week out in the Premier League. Fulham doing well as a team, and he's in the team consistently. So he's playing a part. You know what I mean?
Spoiler alert, there may be another person potentially in somebody's 11. We don't know. That is in that Fulham team that is playing so well. Anthony Robinson has really played tremendously these last couple of weeks. I mean, as a United fan watching him against us a couple of days ago, he had fits with everybody. Like, he just made everybody on that right side of United just look terrible. Malacia was playing on the wrong side, so it's a little tough, but Robinson had a fantastic game, and so did my first center back we're going to put next to Anthony Robinson in old Tim Ream.
Tim Ream's the left center back all day, every day.
He deserves it. There's not one player in this squad that deserves it more than that guy right there. Tim Ream has had an absolutely fantastic season so far for Fulham.
Yeah.
And is a huge part of why they are in the top half of the Premier League.
Yeah, Fulham.
He's 35 years old, putting in great performances, adding set pieces and free kicks, corners. Like, he is just a really good Premier League center back, and I think he will be a really good World Cup center back.
I think he is definitely the most deserving on this squad. If you think about USA players, everybody on the team who's been selected, he's probably had the most consistent year overall.
Yeah.
In terms of performances, he's putting on performances week in and week out for Fulham. He's doing very well. I mean, you could ask the Fulham fans; they love having Anthony Robinson and Tim Ream on that left side.
Every time Tim Ream touches the ball, they go, Ream!
Yes.
Like, every time. They love the guy,
So-
and what's not to?
So Tim Ream at left center back, it should be the most obvious choice. Berhalter has been down on him in the last few selections, but fucking finally came to his senses, made a good choice. So yeah, Tim Ream at left center back, right center back. It's got to be Walker Zimmerman.
Walker Zimmerman.
It's got to be Walker Zimmerman. We know he's MLS, and we give. I'm not gonna speak for Trevin. I give a lot of hate to the MLS guys because they fucking suck. But Walker Zimmerman, though, when he puts on a USA shirt, he shows out. He gives heart. He runs for the team. He's tracking back. He pings passes left, right, and center. He's an amazing asset to the team. And yeah.
He's also a good player in the MLS. He's one of the better center backs in the league.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean in any other league he would be that great. But for some reason, he just really puts it together for this men's national team.
Yeah.
A lot of times, he will go into games, and you're not expecting him to have a great game. You're kind of just expecting him to be there and be a solid 6.5, 7 out of 10, and that's what he is. I mean, he's not going to be somebody that is going to be a world-class defender that's going to take over games in terms of shot blocking and interceptions and tackles. He's going to be just a solid 6.5 to 7 out of 10 every game that you can count on.
As you can tell, that was the defense. You see it. Midfield, we're moving up. I'm pretty sure we're going to have the same midfield.
I'm sorry if we have the same 11. I promise we have not talked about this, but I think a lot of these players in this 11 is pretty self-explanatory. If you ask a lot of men's national team fans who their 11 would be, I would assume probably 8 or so of the 11 are going to be pretty similar.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
For me, we'll start not necessarily in the DM position, but in one
Let's
of
go in the midfield. The defense, we know we're throwing Tyler Adams in the midfield.
Okay,
Like,
he's in there. He's in there like swimwear.
Shoe-in for sure. Holding midfielder at Leeds, he's insane. He's insane. He covers so much ground. He's left, right, in the middle. He does so much for the team. That's why Jesse loves playing him. He's a big part of what Leeds do in their press. He's a pressing machine. He's a workhorse. He just does not stop running. And that's what you need in these knockout games. Somebody willing to take on that role of just a destroyer who's coming and putting out the fires everywhere across the field, and that's what he does.
He's not going to be, Casemiro or Rodri to sit back and then really dictate play and, pass a ball 30 yards, 40 yards. No, he's going to be all over the pitch. He's going to be in every third contributing at all times.
Yeah.
The guy just gets backwards and forwards so well, and he might not be able to get forward as much in my 11, honestly, just because the two midfielders that I have next to him are more of attacking midfielders that can contribute defensively, but we'll just go ahead and say it. Weston McKennie.
Yeah.
Another one.
McKennie.
Guaranteed. Not had a fantastic start at Juve, had a couple of good games, did pick up an injury that he has now come back from, but so far, he's still consistent. He's still Weston McKennie. He's one of our best players. Regardless of position or regardless of form, he's going to be playing.
Yeah. The next center mid, obviously Weston McKennie. We'll just move on from that. We know he's going to be in there. The set pieces, the headers he provides.
Yeah.
He's insane. He gets forward, gets into the box. He's always an asset on set pieces. He's always in the box ready. He's a great player. Next to him, I have Brendan Aronson.
Really?
It has to be Brendan Aronson, and there's absolutely no other person to put in that center mid role. I know some could argue Musa, and if you didn't put Aronson, I assume you put Musa there.
That's exactly what I am going to argue.
So,
but I do have to preface that with spoiler alert: you will see Aronson in a different position in my 11.
Well then,
so
that's even more wrong. Even more wrong. See, well,
we're getting there. We're getting somewhere.
So the center mid. The reason Aronson is at center mid, that other center mid role, is because he's just like Tyler Adams, just the offensive version. He's just a workhorse. He runs and runs and runs, but he has that flair to his game. He can pick out a pass. He makes moves. He's good with the ball at his feet.
He's quick as fuck.
He's so fat. He's so quick. He's not the he's not going to sprint down the field past everyone, but in the tight spaces, he's
with the ball,
fast. He's so quick. He can move so fast, and I mean he does have a sprint about him for sure. But in those tight spaces, he's so impressive. So that's why I really want him in midfield, being the one who we have Adams breaking down play. McKinney's obviously box to box player, can pick out some passes here and there, but Aaronson's gonna be the one making that final ball into the final third, mostly for the U.S. from midfield. I can already see it because he's all over everyone. He's pressing from the front, and he's gonna get some loose balls from teams who mess up, like Wales. You could pull a mistake out of them. England, who if they're unsettled at the back, if they got Maguire in,
if they got Harry,
pressure him.
Watch out for Aronson.
He's coming after you from midfield. He's gonna put that pressure on, and he's got so much energy. He's gonna run all 90. That's why I want him in midfield.
See, and I completely can understand why you'd want him in the midfield, and I agree he needs to be in the starting 11 based on form, ability, everything that we've seen over the last 6 months, including in the men's national team, in the friendlies and everything. He's played so well. With that being said, I think Musa should be in the midfield. I think he has just also had a very good year for a surprising Valencia team. Mm-hmm. He has consistently performed well so far this year, and I think he adds just a little bit something different that the midfield has been lacking lately, and I think that he will be in there and he will make a difference for that team, undoubtedly.
With that being said, too, Musa is definitely the profile to turn on somebody and bring the ball, carrying the ball upfield. He's probably better than Aronson at that for sure.
To connect the play.
Connecting play, he's definitely up there, and I can see why Musa is in your midfield, but
And that's part of the reason why Tanner likes Aronson so much, is also part of the reason why I like him so much. I just think he's going to be playing in a different position. I think he'll be playing in one of the forward threes. I think the three are pretty much interchangeable because we don't have a real hardcore out-and-out striker. Mm-hmm. So I think he'll go with Aronson on form for me at that left wing position, just because he has been so good for Leeds as a winger lately. And he, like Tanner said, he's able to move with the ball so quick. And I think that the midfield will be more defensive against Wales and England in these next couple of games, and if we were to get to the knockouts, I think they'll be told, hey, you can't cheat too far forward, and I think Aronson can be somebody that can take the ball and just go with it. Just get past players and just go and get the ball into their opposition final third. So that's why I have Aronson as my left winger. I mean, I think he's just going to provide something on that wing that we've been lacking.
Yeah. At left wing, though, for me, on the attack, it's got to be Pulisic at left wing. I don't know what Trevin plans are on his... Now that Pulisic's not at left wing, I'm a little bit...
flabbergasted?
I'm a little curious as to see what he picks for the rest of his team, but I have Pulisic left wing. I think that's where he needs to be. I think that's his best position. High, left winger, dropping in, creating sometimes. I also want him to be out wide a little bit more sometimes and make runs in behind and things like that. He does like to drop in and create, but I mean, when you think about who else we have there, it's like I can see why he does it, but he is our best player.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. He's our best attacking player, at least. I think on form, you could debate who the best player is per position right now, but best attacking player, best goal threat, Christian Pulisic for sure. I think he needs to be in his best position at left wing, off the left, and with a really good number 9, who I am going with Haji Wright.
And I don't hate that. I like that.
I
honestly
think Haji Wright, and maybe he didn't do the best when he last put on the USA shirt, but we're going against a Wales team. They're going to be rough and tough at the back. They're probably going to play 5 at the back.
Yeah.
Honestly. you think about the players that they have, and they're, like Berhalter said in an interview or in a press conference, they're basically a Premier League team, the Welsh team. A lot of those players are Premier League experienced or have been in and out of the Premier League, second division maybe, but Haji Wright, as the striker, somebody strong up there, winning the balls, another goal threat on set pieces other than McKinney.
Yeah.
I think the link-up play, I think, will have okay. I don't think we need a Jesus Ferreira for at least the group stage games that we have, at least. I think what we have behind with McKinney, Aronson, or at least in my team, or Musa, even so, I think that's enough creativity with Pulisic that you just need that goal scorer up top. And as I know we both wish it could be Pflock, but Pflock's not there.
See what you missed out is some absolute bullshit. I mean, honestly, Greg, you are a fucking dunce, and I can't stand you
But
sometimes.
anyway, Haji Wright's there.
Haji Wright is there, and I like that pick as well because Haji Wright is a super, super competitive player. Somebody who was out of the squad for years and then has finally come back. He has earned his way back into the squad.
For sure earned it.
So for Tanner to have him in that striker position, I could 100% see him starting there. But for me...
But for you, okay.
But for me...
What would you pick?
I gotta go with Pulisic.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think it's his best position. I agree that his best position is on that left, cutting in on his right foot, and either linking up play or shooting it, in trying to help out his number 9s, and that is how he plays the best. But he's not the only player that you have to think about in this team. I don't think you can leave out Musa or Aronson or potentially my right winger. We'll get to.
We don't know yet.
But I think these are some of the players that they have shown that they deserve to be in the squad. So that's why, for me, they are in the squad. And I think Pulisic, like Tanner mentioned, the link-up play is just a little bit lacking the last 6 to 12 months in a lot of the friendlies and a lot of the qualifiers, that I think Greg likes Christian at that striker position. I don't think it's his best position. I don't think he should play there. But with who we have available and to pick from, that's why he's my striker. I have one more player who I think cannot miss out on this 11, and that is Timothy Weah. Timothy Weah has had, like all these guys, a pretty good start to this season. I mean, he is, I think, the only certified right winger that we have. I think Aronson can play across the front three and in midfield, but I think Weah is our best real winger. He will provide crosses in that link-up play. He will connect with Dest on that right side, just going back and forth. With Musa coming up, they create beautiful triangles, the three of them. And I think that he deserves to have this spot because he is just one of the up-and-coming players that we all know of on this team. But I think he deserves this spot just based on him being the best true out-and-out winger that we have.
I can see Tim Weah. It's a good pick. It is a good pick, and he's been very good when he puts on a U.S. shirt. He's been good for Lille recently.
Yeah.
But for me, at right wing, I don't agree. And I don't agree because I just think we need to have our most talented forward we've ever produced in Giovanni Reyna on the field. He has to be on the field. He's the most technically gifted American player ever already at 19, without a doubt. Most technically gifted. And so that's why I think he needs to be in the starting 11. And if he's healthy, which he's healthy, he's been playing. He's healthy.
He has been playing, but that has been a big concern for him all season long is, can he play 90 full minutes, and can he consistently? And
that's another thing you can also take into account in him with starting him.
They're going to be playing twice in a week for the next 3 weeks.
You have to think about this. Starting out the game, the starting 11, having Giovanni Reyna in there as the starting right winger is only super beneficial in the way that you can bring that Tim Weah off the bench, or you can even.
He's got pace to burn.
It's an idea. It's also an idea. You could starting Tim Weah at striker. Not a lot of people have been talking about that recently, but Tim Weah, that's something he can do. Is play striker. He doesn't do it too often. He's more often on the wing, but he can do that. It's an option. I see Giovanni Reyna though, and I think he just has to be on the field somewhere. Maybe it's Aronson out on the right and Reyna in the midfield. But the reason I put Aronson in the midfield is just the work rate. And Reyna, he's the one who I feel will just have the final ball.
He'll definitely take on players.
He'll take on a man. He'll beat one or two guys and put a ball in. He'll be able to... And he's left-footed. Do something with that left foot. Something different that not a lot of other players have on the team. Everybody else is pretty much right-footed on the team. You throw a left footer in there just to mix it up off the right. You know what I mean? Like, he just got to be in for me.
I completely agree. I mean, in a perfect world, he would be that right winger that we can rely on every tournament for the next 10 years.
Exactly.
It's just that injury record. I mean, can he stay fit? Can he play full 90 minutes? It's just the biggest question mark that he's had over the last 2-3 years. Yeah. But if he's healthy and he can stay healthy, then I think he would be in my 11.
Okay, that's all we have. You see, this is gonna pop up. This is my 11. This is my 11. This is who I've chosen. It's gotta be for me. It's who it's gotta be. Okay, you see it. Trevin's starting 11.
Trevin's 11 right here. 100% out of 100%. Game 1, come back and check it out. Make sure you know that I got all 11 right. Tanner only got this 7 or so that we have joint picked.
Yeah. Thumbnail. What is that?
I'm just like,
Like
go!